NextGenWalkthroughs.com. What's up, everybody? It's Rebel Inc. And this is Halo 3 ODST, Beginner's Guide to Legendary. Okay, so now we're going to be making our way over to the Alpha Site clue, and making our way over there isn't too tough of a journey, and is not very encounter rich of enemies. However, once we get to the area itself, there is it's a very big open section, and it's going to try and induce a pretty big firefight affair out of you. So we're going to try and avoid that as much as we can. And the way it all goes down, it's very, very ugly, and it's not pretty at all. But this video will kind of just give you at least the idea how you want to approach it. For example, there's kind of a section where you can actually draw the enemy over to one side of this building you dive into, and then the door that you need to get to is actually on the opposite side of the same room or building that you actually go into. But we'll get more into that once we actually get to the area itself. So here I'm trying to be Mr. Sneaky Pants, but it all fails because I get seen by that sniper to the left. No worries though. It's only 3 grunts, so nothing nobody can't handle. And I believe there's there's audio log right there. And if you probably mentioned this before, but if you see odd things going on around you, like lights going up or the stop things changing up, it's typically the superintendent letting you know there's an area of interest nearby. So if you're looking for those audio logs, just pay attention to that, because he actually does help out a ton as far as looking for those things. Okay, so we're about to get into the area that I was just talking about. And what's going to happen is, once we get in close enough, there's going to be a few drop ships that drop some enemies that are protected. There's another audio log, and they have some pretty good armor on, because those pink squiggly things are protecting them. This area right here, I don't know if it was another glitch. Again, this game, anytime you go to certain areas, sometimes there's enemies, but for some reason there's not. So anyways, like in that area, I was being careful, and there are typically a good amount of enemies, and it's usually those invisible ones with the Cyclops mask or whatever. But so be aware of that, even though they didn't show up on my playthrough. Assume that they'll be there on your playthrough. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here is just run to that building that's in front of us. There's several snipers, and once you make it in here, for the most part, they won't follow you in unless you antagonize them. So in other words, stand there with the door open and start shooting at them. They won't come in the building. So what I'm trying to do here is actually look for health, because I played this map a lot on Firefight, and there's health all over the place in here. But the single player campaign, as I'm finding out right now, there is no health. So that's one of the dangers you gotta deal with here. But usually the good idea is to draw them in one side or the other. Either that bottom part, try and get them to focus on that area, or go to the right and try and get them out, because that door is right here that we need to get to. You can see they're coming for me. So I got one. Now once you're in here, there's 5 more grunts and one brute. And I got really lucky. That's what I was telling you about. Brutes aren't aggressive with the shooting, so thank goodness, because he would have probably just finished me off. And this scoop ball here. Alright, so that's it. That's basically how to get past that part. Again, it may be easier for you just to fight those guys, but you know. Alright, we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.